So in module 3, we were discussing about constructors. Okay. So we discussed how to create objects. Okay. How to access the method or how to access the property with the help of object. Okay. So this is an example where we are accessing the property which we discussed in the last previous session. Okay. This is accessing the method. This is one more way of accessing the property. Okay. Either you can use a dot symbol, you can specify the name of the property, or you can either place it within a square bracket. Okay. Then I just showed you this example. Okay, where we are creating two objects. Okay, these are two objects, my father and my mother. Okay, and these are the objects, different values. Okay, uh, and you can see here we are calling a display method. We are having here display method. So this is a display function. Okay, so this is how you create a function in JavaScript using the keyword function. Okay, and followed by the name of the function. Okay, and here we are displaying something. Okay, the document.write we are using, and you can see here this is a constructor. Okay, so which is having same name as that of the class. Okay, here you can see it's a person. Okay, so you can see here this is obtained class name person, and you can see here this is first name John, last name age and I. Okay, so these are the different values we are providing. So we are calling my father, that is the first object dot display method. So here we are accessing different properties. Okay, so what are the properties we are accessing? We are displaying age and we are displaying the first name. Okay, so first time we are calling with the first object my father. So in that case, age will be 50 and the first name will be John. And similarly, we are calling with the help of second object, and in that case, age will be 48 and the first name will be Sally. Okay, yes, I will execute this. Okay, so this is an example illustrating the concept of how to access the method and properties. Okay, you can see this using document.write. This is the age of the first object, and this is the first name. And similarly, this one, okay, of second object. So this is one more program which has been asked in the question paper. So this is a JavaScript program to display the table. Okay, and this table is of 12. Just I will show you the output. You see, this is the table. Okay, 12 table you'll be displaying. Same way they can modify the program and then ask you to display the different tables. Okay, 8 table, 9 table, and all. Okay, so let's go through the program. A very simple program. Here we are using a for loop. Okay, we are using, and how we are going to display. So first we'll be having the number, and here this is a number which will be incrementing. Okay, so this is incrementing. You can end it till 10. Okay, or you can end it till 12. That is left to you. Then here we'll be having, okay, 12 into 1, 12 into 2, 12 into 3. Okay. So if you know how to write the program in C, then it is very simple, okay, to understand. So first we are declaring two variables. Okay, so this variable is for storing a number of which table you want to display. Okay, and this is one more variable. Okay, so usually we give I and all. Here we have given the name as times by. Okay, so first it is times by is equal to 1, and here you can give it is less than 10. Okay, less than or equal to 10. Okay, based on I have less than or equal to 10, you can give here. Okay, if you want to display it from 1 to 10. Okay, so here this is for incrementing, and here what we are doing is times table. Okay, so value it is 12. Okay, and here this is plus for concatenation. Okay, 12 into, okay, times by what is the initial value? It is 1. 12 into 1 is equal to times by into times table. So times by initial value is 1, 1 into 12. So 1 into 12 is 12. So it will display 12 into 1 is equal to 12. Okay. Again, increment the value of times by, it will become 2. Okay. In that case, now times table, it is still 12 into times by, we have incremented and it becomes 2 is equal to 2 into 12. So that will become 24. So like this, it will continue. So here you can see we have used break. Okay. So this is HTML code. So wherever you have HTML, okay, place it within double quotes. Okay. So this is similar to the lab program of displaying square and cube root of a number. Okay, similar to that. A very simple program. Only thing is the logic lies in the for loop. Okay. The next we'll study about what are the objects that is there in JavaScript. Okay. So here there are a number of useful objects that are included in JavaScript. Okay. So in JavaScript, we treat everything as an object. Okay. For example, we treat array as an object, boolean, all data types, okay, date. So these are some of the built-in objects. Okay. Math, string, okay, and few other DOM objects. So there are one more object, we call it as DOM object. Okay, which we call it as document object modeling objects. So we'll study each one. Okay. So in the exam, they may ask you explain array objects in JavaScript. Okay, with examples. Okay. Either they may also ask you to execute the programs. So this is how you create an array object with the keyword new. Okay. So where you give the name of the array. So here the name of the array is greetings. So this is the name of the object. Okay. New array brackets. Okay. Same as creating the object. Okay, so this is array object. Okay. And here, so here the objects can be created using the new syntax, and we are calling the object constructor. Okay. So this will create a new object array. It's an empty array. Okay, and the name of the array is greetings. So this is one more way of creating the array, okay, and to initialize the array with the values. Here we are initializing the array with the values. Okay. So now this is having the index 0 and this is having the index 1. Okay. Now greetings can take two values. So this greeting array can take two values, either good morning or good afternoon. Okay. So this is one way, and there is one more way of declaring the array with the values, okay, using square bracket. So this is one more way. Okay, either you can go for this. So this is an empty array. Okay, this is two way of initializing the array. So here we are not using new keyword. Okay. Now suppose if I give, okay, alert greetings of 0. So what it will display? It will display good morning. Okay. Similarly, if I give greetings of 1, then it will display good afternoon. Okay. So if I want to display all the values which is there in the array, I can use a loop concept, for loop. Okay. So for loop I is equal to 0, I is less than greetings dot length. So this is one of the property we have in array for getting the length of the array. Okay. So greetings dot length. So what is the length of this array? It is 2. Okay. Number of elements in the array. So I is initially 0. So 0, alert greetings of 0. What it will display? Good morning. Then increment the value of I, it will become 1. Then y1 is less than or equal to 2. Yes, it is true. Okay, then greetings of 1, it will display good afternoon. Then increment the value of I, it will become 2. Check the condition. 2 is less than 2. Condition fails. Okay, so you will come out of the for loop. So this is one of simple. You can write the entire program. If suppose they ask you for the more marks, okay, you can create an array and use this for loop and write the output. Okay. So next we will study accessing and traversing, okay, of the array. So, and modifying, okay, modifying an array. How to modify an array? The previous one is accessing and traversing an array. Okay, this is, you can give this example for accessing and traversing an array, and this is for modifying an array. So if I want to modify an array, for example, I want to add an item, okay, or an element to the existing array, we can use this method push. Okay. So this is the name of the array, declare the array, and the name of the array is greeting dot push. So push will add the new item, okay, to the end of the array. So what is here? To the end of the new item, and it will be having the index 2. Okay. So 0, good morning, 1, good afternoon, and 2 will be having good evening. So there are few other methods. So they may ask you in the exam, explain the array methods with example. So here we have one more method, that is join method. Okay. So look at here. I have an array. The name of the array is names, and I have 4 items in the array. So these are the items in the array. Now what join will do? Join will convert all elements of an array to string and concatenates them into a single string. So what it will do? It will join, will combine all the elements of the array. So it will concatenate using, okay, using the delimiter that you pass here. How you have to combine? Using this delimiter. So this is a single string, and it will be stored in the string name string. Okay. So join will combine all these elements using this delimiter. You can give any delimiter. Okay. You can give here dot. You can give hash, percentage. Okay. Any delimiter you can give. So based on that, it will convert the array into a single string. Next one is the reverse method. Okay. As the name indicates, so it will reverse the order of the elements. Okay. So here I have declared an array. If I write names dot reverse, okay, so what will happen? So now names will be having all the elements in the reverse order. Okay, the array. Now if I execute this, 0 index will be having Amar, 1 will be having Ravi, and 2 will be having Ajay. Okay, so it will reverse the order of the elements of the array. Next one is sort method. Okay, so this is the next one. So sort method will sort the elements in the array in an alphabetic order. Okay, so it will sort the elements in alphabetic order. So you can see here first Raj, Amar, and Ravi. Okay. So simply you have to give your name of the array dot followed by that sort method. The next one is concatenation. Okay. The concatenates its actual parameter to the end of the array objects on which it is called. Okay. See here, I have an array. Okay. The name of the array is names1. This is a array, and these are the 2 elements with the index 0 and 1. Okay. Now what I do is I write name of the array concatenate, and I want to concatenate 2 elements. Okay. They will be added to the end of the array object. Okay. So what will be in our new array? So what is this will be having? This will be having, okay, what are the elements it will be having? Ajay, Ravi, Amar, and Raj. The concatenate method concatenates its actual parameter to the end of the array objects on which it is called. Okay. So try to execute these programs. It is available in W3 School. The next method is slice method. Okay. So slice method returns part of the array object. Okay. So slice is nothing but a part. Okay. So array object specified by its parameter, and you have to supply the subscripts. Okay. So here we have array. This is one more way of declaring the array using square bracket. So here we have elements, those are numbers, okay, with the index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are using array name dot slice 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3 means it will return you 4 to 6. Okay, and remember the third element it will not give. Okay, it will give only first and second element. It will not give you the third element. Remember, it will not give you 4, 6, 8. It will give you 4 and 6. Okay, 1 and 2. Third subscript will not be included. This is very important. Okay, so it will slice method selects the element starting at the given start argument and ends at but does not include the end argument. So that is the end argument is what? It is 3. So 3 will not be included. Okay. So only it will give you 1 and 2. Okay. For example, if you give slice bracket 2 comma 4, then what and all it will give? What will be the output? Here we will be having 6, 8, okay, and 4 will not be given. So it will give you only 6 and 8. The next method is a toString method. Okay, so this is one more method which will convert array into a string. So return string with all array values separated by comma. So this is very important. Okay, so this is my array with all these elements, 4 elements. If I write fruits dot toString, so this will be the output. Okay, all the 4 elements will be separated by comma. It will be converted into a single string. So this will be a single string. Okay, all the elements of the array separated by comma. So the next one is pop and push method. Okay, push method we already saw. So pop method removes and push method will add. Okay, so this is for similar to your stack. Okay, so this is for removing. This is for adding element to the end of the array. Okay, just look at the example. We have the array list. So list dot pop. So pop means what it will remove? It will remove this Kumar, and you will be having only 3 elements. Again, list dot push Kumar. So what it will do? Again, it will revert it back and it will add the element Kumar back to the array. There is one more method, okay, similar to push and pop, that is shift and unshift. Okay, so shift is to remove, okay, remove and add the element. Okay, but only difference is here you will be performing the operation not to the end of the array, but you will be performing the operation to the beginning of the array. Look at the example, list dot shift. So what it will do? Shift will add, okay, so where dir is equal to list dot shift. Okay, so dir is now, okay, will be having which element? Okay, so the first element will be, okay, will be popped. Okay, I can say it will be removed and it will be stored in the variable dir. Okay, so shift will shift. Okay, it will remove the element. Okay, so next one is unshift. So unshift, what it will do? It will put this item, okay, so this element back to the list. So again, the list will become dasher, dancer, and lister. Okay, so these items will be again reverted back. Okay, so this is for shift is for removing. Okay, remember shift is for removing, unshift is for adding, but it is for beginning of the array. Next, this is one more concept. Okay, two-dimensional array. So you will be studying in your lab program. Okay, there is one program for creating a two-dimensional array and performing the operation. So remember, this is how you create the two-dimensional array in a JavaScript. It is called as array of array. So here, this is a two-dimensional array. So first row will be having 2, 4, 6. Second row will be having 1, 3, 5. And third row will be having 10, 20, and 30. Okay. 3 into 3. 3 into 3 matrix. Okay, 3 rows and 3 columns. So this is a multi two-dimensional array. Going on to the next object. So we are done with array object. Okay. So if they ask you for 10 marks or 8 marks, okay, you can explain array object with all methods. You can give a simple example. The next one is math. So math class allows to access common mathematical functions. So here math object is used to perform mathematical functions. Okay. So for example, I can perform max, finding the maximum element, finding the minimum element, okay, power root, square root, okay, exponential. You can also perform trigonometric functions like sine, cos, and all. Okay. So for example, this is a built-in object. You just have to write math.pi. Pi, it will give you the pi value. And for example, if I write math.sqrt, so similar to your C program, square root of 4. So what is the square root of 4? It is 2. It will give you the output 2. Math.random. So this function, it's a built-in function which is there in the math object. Okay. And this will give you the random number between 0 to 1. So this range you have to remember. Okay. Random, it will give you the random numbers between 0 to 1. So likewise, you have different methods, okay, and the object math. Okay. Moving on to the next object, string. So string object can be created in either of the two ways. Okay, so first you can either use a new keyword for creating a string object. Okay. So this is a string object with the name greet, and this is a string with the value initializing with the value good. This is a long form of constructor. Okay. Normally we don't use this way of declaring the string. So this is one of the easiest way of creating the string. But when if suppose they ask you in the exam string object, you have to mention both the ways. Okay. So this is the string object greet with the value good. So there are other properties associated with this object. So if I give greet dot length, so this is the name of the string dot length similar to the array length. This will give you the length of the string. So what is the length of the string here? How many characters I have in good? I am having 4 characters. So it will display output 4. Alert. We are using alert here. Okay. Next one is there is one more method concat. Okay. So what it will do? So concatenate will add. So this is one more common way to use a string to concatenate them together. Either you can use plus, okay, you can use plus, or you can use concatenate method. So this will add the string morning, it will append it to the end of the string good morning. Okay, so now it will become good morning. So greet is already having good, okay, plus morning. So now str is having what? It is having not just good or morning, it is having both the string good and morning. Okay. So this is one more way of concatenating or adding the strings. There are few more methods. Okay, you can just go through this method. So characterate, I will explain with an example. So I have a string. Okay, this is a string I have declared. The character at 2. Character at the index is 2. So this is will be having the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then it will be having a null character at the end, similar to the C program. Okay. So character at 2, what is at the index 2? It is O. Okay. Next one is index of R. So this is very simple to understand. Index of R. So you have to remember the case sensitivity. Okay, you have to give it as capital A, capital O. Okay, this and all you have to remember. What is the element? What is the index of the R? What is the index? It is 3. Okay. Next, I want to get the substring. Okay. So you have to specify two numbers, 2 comma 4. So what is there at 2? It is O, and at 4 what I'm having? G. So from 2 to 4, that is from here to here. From 2 to 4, this much. Okay. That is ORG. Next one is lowercase. Okay. The lowercase, it is again, it is very simple. It will convert entire string whatever you are given. If it is in a capital letter, okay, or any of the character it is in capital letter, entire thing will be converted into lowercase. Okay. So these are few examples. Okay. And you can also give the description of these methods. These are all built-in methods. Okay. The next one is date. Okay, this is one more built-in object, date. So date class is another helpful, okay, included object, and it is one of the very useful objects. Okay. It is allows you to quickly calculate the current date or create the date object for a particular date. Okay. So you can see here, this is how you create the date object using new keyword. Okay. To display today's date as a string, we could simply create a new date object and use toString method. Okay. Now, if I want to just want to display today's date, I have to create a date object. Okay. And here, remember, don't give just D. You have to convert it into string. Okay. Only then it will display like this in the form of string. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. D dot to string. I think you might have studied in .NET. So date to string. So there are few more methods associated with the date objects. Okay, you can try these methods. Get date, get full year, get time. Okay, similar to here. Okay, you can write D dot get date, D dot get day. Okay, it will give you get minute. It will give you this date of week, year, and all. You can try these methods. So moving on to the next object, window object. So this is very important objects. We have already discussed these objects in lab session. Okay. The window object in JavaScript corresponds to the browser itself. So it deals with browser. So there are two important properties in the window object, that is document, okay, and then more is window. So document property refers to document object. Window property is a self-referential and it refers to the object window. Okay, I'll explain with the example. So this is window object. Okay, the first object is document. Okay. Property. Okay, the first property, there are in Windows, there are two property. One is document, another one is window. Okay. So first we will discuss about document property. How we will use document property. So this is how we'll write document dot write. So this is used for displaying anything in the browser. Okay, browser window, if you want to display, you can use document dot write. So if you use, instead of write, if you use write ln, okay. So write ln will add a slash n to its parameter. Okay. After displaying the result, okay, immediately the cursor will go to the next line or it will add a new line. So since the browser ignores the line break when displaying the HTML. Okay. So you can try both write as well as write ln. Okay. So in Windows object, there are few other methods and all. Just we have already, I showed you how to use alert method. Alert is used for displaying in like this. You will get a box, and this is a confirm method. Okay, the confirm method will be something like this. Okay, so confirm method, inside confirm method, you will be writing a message like this. You can write any message. Okay, so it will be displayed like this. Usually when you are downloading something from the browser or up, we're installing the software, you will get a message like this. Do you want to continue or do you want to download? With the two buttons, OK and cancel. If you give OK, it will store 1, and if you cancel, it will store 0. Okay. One more method, prompt method. We have already used prompt method. Okay. Uh, in lab program. So prompt will be something like this. Okay. Here prompt method will take two parameters. The first one is a string that you want to display here. So what is your name? Enter the string, enter the number. Okay. The second one is a default value which you can leave it as blank or you can write a default name. Okay. If you remember in a lab program we have written here Harry Potter. Okay. So that will be displayed here. So here you can give, so whatever you enter, okay, the name, for example, if suppose if you enter here Divya, that Divya will be stored in the variable name and it will be of type string. Okay. The return type of the prompt is always string. Moving on to the next concept, DOM. So DOM stands for Document Object Model. So JavaScript is almost always used to interact with the HTML document in which it contains. So why we use JavaScript? So JavaScript mainly can be used to perform few operations like changing the HTML content. Okay, for example, I have a paragraph. I have a paragraph with the content paragraph 1. Okay, this is a content. Okay. And now during the execution of the program, okay, I want to change this content to paragraph 2. So I can do it during the runtime by using JavaScript, changing the HTML content. Similar to your lab program, text growing and text shrinking. If you remember, we have changed the content from text growing to text stringing. Correct. So that is using JavaScript. JavaScript can also be used for changing the attribute value. For example, if you have given an attribute, okay, align. I hope you remember the concept of attributes and all. We declared in the first module. Attribute align with the value right. Okay. So if I give here right, okay, and if I want during the runtime, okay, to change this value, I can also do it using JavaScript. The JavaScript I can change it and I can make it as align center. Okay. So automatically it will be aligned to the center. So I can dynamically change the value of the attributes using JavaScript. You can also change the HTML styles. Okay, for example, I have declared some CSS. Okay, and I have given the color for this as green. Okay. Now during the runtime, when you are executing the program, I want to change this color to red. So I can do it using JavaScript. So I can make also change to the CSS styles. Okay. And JavaScript can also be used to hide the elements. Okay. Hide the elements means hide the tags. For example, I want to hide an image. I have an image. Okay. I want to hide that image when you go for the next page, when you browse. Okay. So at some point you want to hide that image. You can do it using JavaScript. Okay. So these are the main things, okay, which you can do it using JavaScript. First is changing the content, changing the attribute values, changing CSS style, changing or hiding the HTML elements. Okay. So as such, there need to be some ways to programmatically access elements and attributes within the HTML. So using HTML, you can access CSS, you can access attributes and all. So it is accomplished through a programming interface called as DOM. So this is very important API, okay, where you have different functions to perform these operations. Okay. So DOM is an object that make up the web page. Okay. So DOM, using DOM concept, you can represent the entire page in the form of DOM tree. The entire your web page, okay, when you are writing the web page websites, okay, entire your web page can be structured in the form of tree. That tree is called as DOM tree. Okay, so let us assume that this is your HTML web page. Okay, so this is your web page. Okay, so this entire code can be represented using DOM tree. So this is your DOM tree. Okay. What and all is there in this DOM tree? So here there is a topmost object, we call it as, okay, before HTML, the topmost object we call it as document root. So in the exam they may ask you, explain the concept of DOM, okay, and with an example, construct a DOM tree. Okay. So you have to write an example like this and you have to construct. Here in the example, what and all we have? We have HTML, and here we are having a head part, and here we are having body part, and the head part we have encoding format, okay, that is UTF-8, how the encoding should take place, and then we have title for the page, and in the body part we have H1 tag, paragraph, image, again H2, again there is a div, and inside the div we have paragraphs, two paragraphs, again here there is a div, and there are two paragraphs. Okay. This is very simple to represent in the form of tree. So the first node is called as root node, document root, and then we start with HTML. In HTML there are two parts, one is head part, another one is body part. So if you see here, they are having the same level. Okay. So they are called as sibling nodes. So these are all nodes. Whatever you see in the square bracket, they are all called as node. Okay. So here these are at the same level. So again these are also at the same level. They are all siblings. Okay. So here these are called as child nodes. Okay. You know the concept of child and parent. Okay. So this will become child node and this is parent of the child. And here what and all we have, inside head we have one meta and another one is title. Okay. Inside body what and all we have H1, we have paragraph. If you see inside paragraph we have anchor tag, correct? That is why we place it within. Okay. A paragraph will become the parent and anchor tag will become the child. And next we have an image, we have H2 tag. Okay. Next we have div. Inside div we have two paragraphs. And if you see here in paragraph we have one more tag, that is time tag. So this is time. Again here this is same. Okay. So this is the DOM tree. Okay. So it is not necessary to write such a big program. You can write a simple program with only 2 or 3 tags here. Okay. And you can draw the simple tree based on the marks. Okay. For how much marks they have asked. So based on that you can draw the tree. So here 3 things. One, you have to understand what is sibling nodes, what is child, what is parent node, and there is a root, we call it as document root. Okay. So let's understand DOM nodes. Okay. So I said there are, whatever you see in the square bracket, they are called as nodes. Okay. Now coming to DOM tree, so we have 3 types of nodes. So in the DOM, each element within the HTML document is called as node. Okay. So we saw in the diagram, the previous diagram, we had different tags, okay, or we call it as element within the HTML document. So all those are called as node. For example, paragraph, anchor, time, h2, h1. So all those are will become tags will become now nodes. Okay. So DOM is a tree. Then each node is an individual branch. Okay. There are three types of nodes. Okay. Element node, text node, and attribute node. Okay. I'll explain this with the example. Look at this example. So this is a simple example, okay, where you have a paragraph. Inside the paragraph, you have anchor tag. Okay. Now look at how we will draw the tree. So we have not written the entire tree structure here. It is just a subtree we are showing here. So main parent is a paragraph. Okay. Inside paragraph, we have an anchor tag. Correct. We have anchor tag and we have a text here. So this is a text. Okay. So this is a text. Okay. And we have a anchor tag. Okay. Now coming to the anchor tag. So anchor tag, what you have an attribute here. Correct. So what is attribute? href, and this is the value, correct? So this is attribute and this is the value. Okay. Again, this is the text. Okay. So that is text here. So there are three types of nodes. This is called as element node. That is nothing but the name of the tag. So wherever you have tag names, they are called as element node. So there are two tags here, correct? One is paragraph, another one is anchor. Okay, so this is paragraph and this is anchor. Next, we have text here. So these are called as text nodes. Okay, and if suppose you have attribute, then that attribute we call it as attribute name node. Okay, so there are three types of nodes: element node, text node, attribute node. So very important. So explain DOM concept and explain the different types of nodes that we have in the DOM tree with example. Okay. So you have to give this example, okay, or similar example you have to give. The next one is DOM node properties. So we have in the DOM node, okay, we have different types of nodes, right? So these DOM nodes have different properties. For example, attribute property, child node property, first child, last child, next sibling. Okay. DOM. Look at this example. Here we have HTML code. Okay, paragraph we have. Then we have unordered list. Okay. Again we have paragraph. Again there is a button. Okay. And similarly coming down we have paragraph. Okay. And let us concentrate on the JavaScript code. This is a JavaScript code. And here we are calling on click of this button, we are calling a function. The name of the function is my function. What does that function will do? Here we are using, okay, this we have already studied, okay, in the lab program. Okay, get element by ID. So we are getting element or the tag which is having the ID my list. Where is that? My list. Okay, it is here. Okay, so to access any tag which is having the ID, specific ID, you can give like this. Okay, document get element by ID. Remember this. Here it is E capital, B capital, and I capital. You have to write it as it is. Okay, get element by ID. So it will give you UL tag. Okay, so get element by ID dot first child. So what is the first child? For UL tag, there are two childs, right? One is coffee, another one is tea. Okay. So first child dot inner HTML. So inner HTML, what it will do? The content of the first child, that is coffee. will be placed in where? In the variable list. Okay. Now what we do in here, there is one more line, document dot get element by id demo. Where is that demo? Is here. Okay. So dot inner html. So what is the inner content of this? Now it is blank. Okay. Now what we are doing, whatever that is there, coffee, okay, which is there in the variable list, will be placed here in the inner html of this. Now you can see it is blank. Okay. So that will be placed here. So initially this is our first child. Okay, this is our first child. Okay, this is a property of DOM first child. Okay, here what is happening? I click on this button, try. Okay, what is the first child? Their content is what? Inner HTML is what? Coffee. Okay, so that will be accessed and it will be placed in variable list, and that list, okay, will be placed where? Here in the inner content of this tag which is having the ID demo. Is it clear? So any doubt in this program? So this is a one program, okay, illustrating the property first child. Okay. So any doubt in this program? Here I have given first program. Okay, content of this initially it is first program. Now what will happen? I will click and it will change to, from first program it will change to coffee. Okay, so which you have fetched and placed it in the list. So try to execute. Okay, this is very important concept. Okay, this get element by ID. Okay, very important. If you want to interact with any of the tag, you can use this property get element by ID. So using this, you can point to any tag with this ID, okay, specified ID. So likewise, you can try for different other properties. DOM object is a root JavaScript object representing the entire HTML document. Okay. So it contains some properties and methods that we'll use extensively in our development and is globally accessible as document. Okay. So here there is two more properties, very important property, that is doc type and input coding. Okay, input encoding. Okay. Look at this. So now this doc type property, okay, all HTML document must start with doc type declaration. Okay. This doc type property returns the document type of the, okay, what type of document is this? Okay, whether it is a JavaScript, whether it is a PHP document, or whether it's an HTML document type. Okay, here document, okay, document, how you would write, this is a object name. Okay, document dot doc type dot name. Okay, so which will be stored in the variable x. Okay, document dot get element by id inner HTML. Now what you do here, the content of this you can change and it will be displayed here. See here, it will display what type of the document it is. It is HTML document. You can also write it like this also, alert x. See here. What we are doing? Document doc type dot name, storing it in the variable X and display it. When you click on this, it will give an alert box, and in alert box you can see here it will display what type of the document. It is of what type? It is an HTML document. You can see here doc type HTML. Okay. So this is one important property, doc type, which is used for specifying the document name. Okay. Next one is one more property, input encoding. Input encoding. So input encoding will give you the encoding type. Okay. We said that there are different types of encoding the data. Okay. You can encode the data in different ways. Here also it can give you here. What is the encoding type? So usually we use UTF-8. Okay. UTF-8. So in the program, by default also it is UTF-8. Unicode transformation format. Okay. When you are transferring the data from the browser to the server, okay, or interacting the server, so what type of encoding method you are using? Okay, that will be given by the property input encoding. So there are different encoding methods, UTF-16, UTF-8, UTF-32 and all. So we are using UTF-8. Okay. So these are the two important properties. Okay. So along with this, these are the two more. Okay. So next, this will continue in the next session. Object methods. So today we discussed DOM with the different DOM properties. Okay, these are all properties, not methods. Okay, because we are not placing it within like this methods. How it will be there? Methods means you will be having like this. Correct? These are not methods. These are all properties. Okay. So these are all properties. So today we studied about objects, JavaScript objects, array object, date object, then math object and DOM objects. Okay.